Welcome to
Introverts Own Your Voice. I'm Tom Marcoux.
And I'm Johanna.
This episode is about speak with no fear. Secrets to uncover your best material. People will pay to hear. Johanna, I have a question. Tell me about a time that you feel that you were in the moment and you were actually given a speech or a workshop and you had no fear.
When I was giving a workshop in New Zealand, and a lot of what I was afraid of just never showed up. And so I was getting people into talking a lot. It really felt good.
What do you think helped you to be able to get those people to talk a lot?
I had the right questions.
Excellent. Terrific. So you had ways, you had pre-planned how you could engage your audience.
Yes.
Excellent. So to speak with no fear, it's a lot about rehearsal. It's a lot about uncovering your best material. This is what I do all the time as a spoken word strategist and executive coach. Because of my background as a feature film director, for decades, I've been pulling out the best performance out of someone. And many times when I would be directing and writing the same project, I would go for the actor to say words their way. Say the ideas in ways that the words feel real, natural, genuine, coming from that person. And that's how I help people when they want to have material that is the best that they have at this moment. Whether they want to express it in a TED Talk, or they want to express it in a book, or they want to express it in a way to lead a team. It's all about uncovering your best material. And we are using this process called AIM. Every letter is going to stand for a method, and we begin with A, which is ask the compelling questions. So, Johanna, what would be a compelling question to you that would get you engaged?
What feels like the best way to do X?
There are great things happening right there in what you're saying. What feels? So we're going for feeling, not just rationalizing, not just looking at numbers or graphs. What we're doing is we're feeling about it. Also, we're not just asking, what do you think about that? The other thing is that you said best, and that's crucial. So when I'm talking about compelling questions, I'm often talking about asking the person, what's most important to you about? So if you're preparing some material, what's most important to my audience members about this topic? What is the best result my clients want? So focusing on best is great. It creates those focused and essential things that people care about. That's why I say, what are the best results my clients want, not what they need. Sometimes you have to educate somebody. Oh, you need this. But they want something. And usually it could be wanting something on the level of feeling better, feeling safe, feeling proud of themselves, feeling courageous, feeling brave, feeling competent, feeling confident.
I think a lot of people really want those things because we feel like we lack that experience in our life.
Exactly. So you target those things that are connected to the most important and the best related to feelings. Next, we're talking about I of AIM, and that's imagine the best outcome. So if I'm talking with a client about their TED Talk, I will say, you are in front of that TED Talk audience. It is guaranteed that they will hold on to this value. And this talk will continue to give value beyond your lifespan. What are you saying?
Oh, how interesting.
So sometimes when I express this, I need to go further, or I need to rephrase it so that they get it. The main point is that they're imagining the best outcome. The best outcome is that the audience with them is having a fantastic experience, and they're going to hold on to this value. But also that this material is their best material, and it is going to have the best outcome, which is it's going to be relevant and valuable beyond the lifespan of my client. So we need you to imagine the best outcome. What's amazing about when I say all that, I set up the situation where they can imagine that they're at their best and they're expressing the most valuable things that they know in the TED Talk situation. And I ask, what are you saying? And then I'm quiet and I wait. And they often express something that they've never said before, something that comes directly from their heart, something that comes out of them. This is the best material. So we're talking about speak with no fear. Secrets to uncover your best material that people will pay to hear. When you get access, and that's why I use questions so well as a spoken word strategist and executive coach, when you get access with the right questions and the right coaching to what is the essence of what you can bring and express as your best performance, fear goes away because you know that you're doing something that is extraordinary.
So, Tom, what's extraordinary for you to express to our listeners right now?
That's terrific. Thank you for that. What's most important is that you get access through the use of compelling questions to the essence, to the heart of the value you bring. But remember, you're serving this audience, which means you need to be focused on the best results they want. Which takes us now to M of AIM, which is measure. If you want to speak with no fear, then you need evidence. And the evidence is the time, but excellent time and effort that you put into preparation for your speech. The idea is, it's not just practice. One of my mentors said, perfect practice. Now, that phrase may work for some people, but some people may not relate to that. But it's the idea that you could practice the wrong things, and now you have a terrible speech or a terrible golf swing or whatever it is. So practicing does not ensure excellent and best performance. Coaching and excellent rehearsal and facing the things that you're afraid of. See, what I do, and I've trained MBA students in a number of places, like Stanford University 2 times. When I'm working with MBA students or my clients or an audience, whether I'm in Thailand, New Zealand, or New York, wherever I'm at, or Silicon Valley, California, I'm giving them something that they can measure. That is, they are rehearsing, they're practicing with each other, and that is evidence. See, that's how we speak with no fear. You need evidence, not this arbitrary, oh yeah, well, you know, over the last couple of days, maybe about 3 minutes a day, I guess I've been talking to the mirror. No, you need to test it. You need to test yourself. For example, if I was going to give this as a speech, I would just pull out a piece of paper and write down, what does AIM stand for? Oh yes, ask the compelling questions, imagine the best outcome, measure. I could test that so that I know what is the outline of my speech.
And it helps to have a coach to help hone the information and how you deliver your speech, your pitch.
Absolutely. Because the coach is on the outside and can see, keep that. Oh, throw that other thing away. Oh, this thing is distracting. We can let go of that. Like, I often, given a workshop called Convince Investors to Fund You, I often show that people will say something like saying, I'm confident that our solution can help with that. But they're rubbing their hand like they're petting a cat. I call it pet the cat. And so that's self-soothing. The body language is distracting from the message.
It's screaming one thing when you really are trying to present a different idea.
Exactly. That you're confident and that you have value and that you're credible expressing this thing, and whatever you're offering is compelling. You see, just recently someone said, oh, you help people with marketing. And I said, I don't flow that way because a lot of people, the way they do marketing doesn't work. What I have originated is something called compelling brand innovation. Compelling is what counts. This looks like a good time for us to do a Marcoux moment. That's when I share one of my 47 books that's up on Amazon. I share an excerpt. Now this time we're going to cover darkest secrets of making a pitch for film and television. This is one of my favorite books, and I'll tell you why. Because it came from a tough situation. I was in Palo Alto, California, a bunch of rich people who earned their riches through doing stuff with tech. They had gathered to hear Hollywood film producers and directors pitch their films so that they could get funding. What a mess. It was horrible. The way they pitched and the way they failed to connect with their audience, these tech entrepreneurs. It shook me up so much, I ended up writing this book, Darkest Secrets of Making a Pitch for Film and Television. So we're going to go to page 42. Darkest secret number 7. Some people will try to make you fail. Now, if one is pitching to an investor, certain things come up, and here's the excerpt. Researchers note that most people demonstrate a natural resistance to new ideas. And resistance in a vile form comes out as a listener trying to make you fail. They'll interrupt you, make you wait in the lobby until you feel small and powerless, or even ridicule what you're saying. Why do people resist? Because they want to assert their autonomy.
Oh.
If someone's new idea pushes on their current biases, or even pushes them to get out of inertia, that is, to commit to pledge funds, people often feel threatened.
Mm-hmm.
Many times you're presenting to someone who has greater wealth and higher status.
Mm-hmm.
How do they use that? They demonstrate their power.
Mm.
You can realize that because they're talking with you, you have something they want.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, you have a type of power.
Mm.
One of the concepts is called seize alpha status. And on page 44, it says here that an executive, or someone doing the pitch,
Mm-hmm.
they seek to be the alpha in any situation. And with the rest of the world as betas, that means underlings,
Mm-hmm.
these alphas use beta traps.
Mm.
These are patterns that get just about anyone to feel unsure or hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
So in this section of the book, what we talk about is how you can seize alpha status because you don't fall into the trap.
Mm-hmm.
What you do is you connect with your audience on a level where they feel that you are confident for a reason. It's because you are credible and what you're expressing is compelling. So this book is Darkest Secrets of Making a Pitch for Film and Television. And whether you are pitching for film or television, these secrets that came to me when I saw how people made big, terrible mistakes, and I wanted to help them. I couldn't help those people pitching in Palo Alto, California a couple years ago before I wrote the book. But everyone who's read the book, and the book sells every month, everyone who's read the book, I've been able to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me feel good. And I've heard good news in email from people that they've gotten value from this book.
So it sounds like a must-read, Tom.
Well, thank you. So I have a question. It's a compelling question. Johanna, what are you going to keep with you from this conversation?
I think having a coach to help you bring out the best in what you're doing and to be able to guide you to your best material.
Well, that's tremendous. You see, we speak with no fear when we know that our material is so valuable to the listener that if you make an error, let's say you make a non-word sound like or something like that, they won't care because the value of the material shines brightly and uplifts them and brings value to their life in this moment and beyond. That is when you can speak with no fear. Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Tom.
We're glad that you got to hear this message. And often, I'm able to help people in other ways. For example, they ask, Tom, what is it that you do? And I reply, I'm Tom Marcoux, spoken word strategist and executive coach. I help people really connect and get yes. I help them with their speeches, pitches, video marketing, and networking. My background as a feature film director means for decades I have helped people pull out their best performance. And you can find me at getthebigyes.com. For articles and videos, go to getthebigyes.com. Also, visit yourbodysoulandprosperity.com. We're glad that you heard this broadcast, and we invite you to
Click to subscribe.
and then you'll be supporting me and Johanna and our message.
And so now remember,
Introverts can show their best self with strategy.
I'm Johanna McLeod.
I'm Tom Marcoux.
Thank you.
Be well.
Bye.